what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Black Tales reaction. Today we have Fear. I apparently kind of should have listened to this with the other two I just did a video on like 2 weeks ago, but I didn't really have the time to do that, so I was going to make this one a standalone, so I've re-listened to those. I don't know if they will be technically relevant, but Joshua the Great wanted me to get to all of these, and I am of course going to be doing that, so finally we're here. A lot of people have requested this one over the course of a few months now, so I'm excited and I hope it pays off. So I guess without further ado, let's go! Okay. Setting a very clear tone here. I am mildly unsettled. Ooh. That sounds kind of familiar. Very similar beat to, I think, Solitude. Not exact though, it's definitely different. So far, I'm really liking how empty this is. If the term fear is literal, that's really good. Keep it minimal. Gotta take the hard style approach. See, like this. Ooh. Ooh. I love the effects on that. See, it's doing something different now. I'll have to wrap back to my thoughts on that later, but like, it's doing things. It's messing with you psychologically. They know exactly what they're doing. Ooh. Well, this is different. Ooh. Oh, there's where the payoff to that is. Like in the chords here, that crunchiness, that dissonance. I was wondering where that was going to be going. It sounded too positive for all the fear that they were trying to give you. But those chords, like right here, the lead in the background, oh, that's great. They don't really blend when all of those instruments lock together. It's very clashy. They're just keeping this one like that's just like locking in a tonic. So everything else is forced to butt heads with that one note. That creates a lot of tension too. Yeah, look, it's me. Sorry, my ADHD took a hold there. It's not often that I see myself in my own recommended videos, so it just caught my attention. But anyway, this song, I love what they did in general. The composition is very aware here, as has been the case with basically everything from Black Tales so far, and they did so in a really fun way this time, which was basically just abusing the hell out of psychological tricks to make you feel off and wrong. Everything in here basically past that first point, which was already pretty atmospheric and trying to build up this tension, it then melodically did the same thing by making everything clash with itself. Nothing felt satisfying. It kept constantly butting heads with other notes. notes, there's this concept of musical theory where if you don't have notes that land in between certain intervals of each other, they will sound disgusting, and just like to especially the Western audience who's not used to hearing more creative uses of melodic structure, it sounds wrong. So like when you put those together, it's like, ew, why does that sound like just so unsatisfying? That's why. You have these notes that just don't land together. It's like when you take two notes right next to each other on a keyboard, any of them, and you play them at the same time, you get that response. You're just like, ooh, that didn't sound good. That's exactly why. It's the same thing just happening all over the place here. So you get that atmosphere in the beginning, that's that whole section, just kind of getting you into the unsettled feeling. It hadn't really introduced anything melodically yet, no harmonics to like butt heads with or anything like that. It was just sitting here making noises that were kind of unsettling, that make you go, ooh, am I safe? You know, it's starting to make you question that right off the bat. But then once the beat comes in, it's immediately pushing you into this anxiety force of just like, there's so much energy coming at me suddenly. What do I do? It kind of pushes you into a fight or flight a little bit. And then those like bells, the samples of the bells in the background, those are unsettling too, because we tend to associate those with death, you know? So you're like, yeah, I don't want to be here right now. And once the melody came in, it added to that thing that I was getting really excited about, but then changes kept happening and I couldn't talk about it. It was this chromatic fall, the do 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 do. Again, you're kind of hitting every note next to each other on the way down. I think in this case, they're maybe skipping one or two on the way down the scale, and that's fine, because if it doesn't work together, it'll still feel wrong. So while these do technically work together because you're going down a scale, they're too close to each other to really feel satisfying in your ear. You're just kind of put off by it. It doesn't settle anywhere that would be called a resolution. And that gets into the discussion of dissonance versus consonance. And all of this was dissonance. There was no consonance. It's basically just the opposite of dissonance. And if you don't know what dissonance is in general, it's basically just a disagreement. That's it in a word. So putting dissonance into music, it's a disagreement in those notes. We sonically are expecting something that's more consonant, something that is more stable. And this isn't it. It's going down and it sounds like it's creating a structure, but the structure it's creating is wobbly, it's unsteady, it's a castle on sand, it's waiting to fall down because anything could take it down at any point. There's no solidity to it, whereas consonance is the opposite of that in basically every way. It's a firm sound response and resonance that feels good to the ear, and in general concept of theory, something that is solid. It's a house on a rock comparatively. And this song basically just does that all the way through, from that like second fourth of the song where you have those step downs happening constantly on loop, which by the way, the loop is also adding to that tension and the feeling of anxiety you're getting the whole time. So that's another part of it. But once it moves into those chord structures I was starting to talk about, once it shifted into that did the same thing. It had all of these chord structures underneath that did not align with the notes you were hearing on the top, and then that one constant tonic on the bottom. So this whole time you're getting multiple sections of the song that are just not supposed to work together. So this being for a character that's supposed to be the embodiment of fear is exactly what you want. Something that is constantly unsettling, pushing your anxiety to the highs, never feeling satisfying. You just cannot get away from it, and every single time you think you're about to, it lies to you and you're back at square one. It's this endless loop of frustration and anxiety that you cannot overcome. You just, no matter what you do, this song does a very good job at doing that all the way through, from the start to the finish. I had a feeling it was going to do something like this because of the title of Fear, but I didn't know how deep it would go. And when it started with a more atmospheric thing, I was like, okay, maybe this is just going to be a little bit more, you know, atmospheric the whole time. But then they started bringing in every play in the book to be able to make this feel as anxiety written and stressful as physically possible. And that's basically all this was. And that's all you need it to be for a character or a theme that's supposed to embody fear. It's just a really good conceptual piece, start to finish. They did a great job at getting that concept and that feeling down into a song, and I don't love it, but not because it isn't good, but because I never felt satisfied while listening to it, and that's exactly what they wanted you to feel. But I've been yapping about this one for quite a while, so I think I'll call it here. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you have something else you want me to get to from Block Tales or another Roblox thing maybe, by all means let me know in the comments below, and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if, like Joshua the Great did, you want to guarantee that I listen to something, you can always go to my Patreon Patreon or my YouTube memberships, there's a tier that will force me to listen to whatever you want, from whatever you want. Good, bad, doesn't matter. That's why it's a guarantee. But if you don't want to do any of that, you just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that. And I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!